You have all seen the moss block. Almost every single 1.17 snapshot review has covered it. Also, many players agree that it's been a fan favorite since the very first snapshots. But what you may not know is that the moss block has a secret property that Mojang doesn't want you to know. Now, if you didn't know, a moss block has a ton of different properties, some of which are pretty subtle and others are pretty noticeable. A moss block will actually generate flowering azaleas, moss carpets, grass, and tall grass when bone meal. It can also be broken with any tool, even your fist, in around about a second. It can also remove all of these blocks when you bone meal it, and it can also go through walls. It can go through walls. And this is not that apparent at first sight. You have a wall right here, and it doesn't change the wall's appearance at all. But this is the foundation to the hidden property itself. Take grass, for example. When you bone meal it, it doesn't go through walls, obviously, like you'd expect. But moss doesn't do this, instead placing foliage behind the wall. And this means we can put a redstone contraption behind the wall to make it detect when you bone meal a moss block.
Wait. You're telling me this involves redstone?
Well, I mean, yeah.
Oh, man. Boo.
Oh, man. Just wait a minute. Calm down, everybody. Gosh. This contraption is super easy, and if you install this into your base, then you will be only one of only a few to ever know about this trick, which makes this extra secure. So say I'm just walking around in this massive lush cave, and I come across a sign that says, "Keep out." A natural explorer would go ahead and, examine this, maybe take some samples and walk away, but I'm not the average explorer, so I'm gonna start bone mealing the ground. Now, you might be wondering why I'm doing this. Well, it's because there's a redstone contraption right here. So I find it, and it's dope, and I walk up, and boom, I find the massive underground temple, basically. So this is the redstone contraption. If you bone meal a moss block, just by bone mealing it, well, I mean, it takes a few tries, but if just by bone mealing it, you can activate a redstone contraption, which is just mind-blowing because bone meal is super easy to get and moss is super easy to get, so why not build this? So you've now seen this in practice, so let's go ahead and take a look at the technical side and see how this actually works. The items that you're going to be needing for this redstone contraption are super basic. It only uses 3 observers, 2 moss blocks, 1 sticky piston, and 1 normal piston, and a ton of building blocks, and that's it. So the activator moss block, which is the one right here, is the one that you're going to be bone mealing. Go ahead and build 2 blocks away and 2 blocks down and place another moss block just like this. This will be your receiver moss block. If you bone meal the start moss block, then it'll place foliage on the receiver. Now it's time for the contraption. This is super easy. All you have to do is go to the receiver moss block and place a piston that looks something like this. Then go ahead and grab an observer and place it just 2 blocks away from the normal piston, facing outwards from the piston, and then placing another observer outwards from that observer, and then place that observer going into a sticky piston with another observer on its face facing upwards. If you have any questions, I'm going to be doing some fly arounds so you can kind of judge it from there, but then this should work. Your red wool block is actually the output block, so that block is what you're going to be using to power your redstone contraptions. So you actually have to make sure that these 2 blocks marked in iron are air blocks. If they are not air blocks, then this contraption won't work, as I'm demonstrating right now. As you can see, I'm bone mealing it, but it's not working. So as soon as you remove these blocks and bone meal it again, it will work. So the contraption can also be placed in different locations, like this one here, here, and here. And you also have to make sure that all of these iron blocks are also air blocks, so just keep that in mind when building. Alright, so here is the redstone contraption. I told you guys this was pretty easy. It is extremely small, only fitting in around about a 3x3 area, making a total volume of only 9 blocks. So how this works is basically once you bone meal this moss block, it detects in a certain radius where there's another moss block or any of these other blocks, and decides to place foliage there. If it does place foliage there, then this observer will detect it, and boom, you got yourself a redstone output. Now basically we can use this to make a ton of really cool hidden activation devices and secret bases. I've got a ton of redstone contraptions on my YouTube channel that you can actually use in conjunction with this contraption to make a pretty awesome secret base. Anyway, so that's the video. I really hope you enjoyed it. That video took a ton of time to make, so if you could please make sure to leave a like and subscribe, that would be greatly appreciated. You don't have to subscribe, but if you do, it really means a lot, and you'll have more of my content coming soon. So yeah, if you thought this glitch was pretty interesting or pretty funny or not even a glitch at all, then go ahead and leave that down in the comments below. I always love reading the comments, so just tell me what you think. Anyway, my name is Mr. Cube 6, and I really hope to see you in my next videos, and goodbye.